And we're now joined by Skype by our author and friend, Ivan Eland. He's a senior fellow and director at the Independent Institute. Hi there, Ivan. Good to see you. Tell us, does this group have a common theme?
Well, I think, these summits are very useful for the countries because they're all at the, roughly the same stage of development. Their development is really taking off. They have some differences, of course. South Africa, Russia are sort of resource countries, as is Brazil, whereas you have India is a service economy and China is a manufacturing economy. And so there are differences, but they're at the same stage of development or similar stages, and that's, they can cooperate in that sort of thing. It's sort of an equivalent of the OECD countries, the industrialized countries of Western Europe, Canada, US, et cetera.
Ivan, how much of the emphasis has been on China, which really accounts for approximately 2/3 of the bloc's GDP?
Yeah, I think China is certainly the leader of this bloc simply because of its size, and it's a #2 economy in the world, maybe soon to be the largest economy in the world GDP-wise, and so I think naturally it's a leader compared to the other ones. But India has good growth, and so it's in there too. But certainly China is definitely the first among equals in this group of countries.
Russia and Brazil hurting with the low price of oil. South Africa lagging with debt problems. India is on a much better trajectory. But can it sustain all of this?
Well, that's the key thing. The prime minister there is trying to make reforms, and it used to be the problem with India wasn't its political system, is over-regulation of its economy, and I think that's the problem that all of these countries, including China, have a problem with that. But certainly, India is very promising. It's probably the second most promising country of the bunch, and certainly. If the reforms take hold and that sort of thing, India has great possibilities, as does China. And so I think naturally China is slowing down a bit in growth because of manufacturing. That's just natural. Many countries that are based around manufacturing eventually slow a bit in growth, so I don't really see that as a problem. And India will probably slow down too as it develops. That's just the nature of countries as they get richer. They're just not as able to grow as fast because the possibilities of easy growth have the low-hanging fruit has been harvested, so to speak. But certainly, those two countries, India and China, are a lot better off than Russia, South Africa, and Brazil. As you point out, those are resource exporting countries. The price of resources have gone down, and we also have the massive corruption in Brazil. But of course, if Brazil surmounts that corruption and can put in rule of law, then Brazil, I think, could probably, again, be on the upward trajectory.
All righty. Well, Ivan Eland, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.